Man, we ain't never had shit like this.
Not growing up Barton, we had.
Growing up, we used to tie a string to 2 cups and talk through it.
Yeah. We've come a long way, guys.
That was your microphone, huh?
Yeah. The heck with the first moon landing.
Anyway, we are rolling, boys. Today we got Mr. Dale Liles and Matt Teal with us. They are both Ducks Unlimited, like we are, out of Muscle Shoals, Alabama.
Down there in the sticks.
Up there in the sticks.
Yeah, we don't even have paved roads, guys.
bunch of gravel up there, huh?
Yeah.
I've been up there a few times. It's not for me.
Yeah, it's not for a lot of people.
It's out there, like.
Yeah.
It's in the middle of nowhere. You got Florence, but
if Florence, if you took away University of North Alabama, Florence would be probably like North Cortland. It'd be non-existent. It would. It wouldn't be no reason to be there because college makes the town.
That's about how most of those towns are that have colleges.
Yeah, them college towns.
The credit card village.
Mm-hmm.
I bet they get pretty wild. I've been to like downtown Florence a couple times, like over there by the is it UNA up there?
Yeah.
It's different for sure.
And then when they went Division I, Bank Independence built them a football stadium. So they're disassociating with the city of Florence and Brawley Stadium. They're going to be playing at their own Bank Independent Stadium.
Can't hide money.
Can't hide money. That's like UAB. They got a new stadium now. Protective stadium.
Yeah, the Alabama High School Athletic Association removed the Super 7 spots at Auburn and Alabama for the new playoff system, the top 12, anticipating Auburn or Alabama hosting a first-round game. So now the Super 7 be played at Protective Stadium in Birmingham.
Really?
Yeah. They're ahead
We wouldn't know nothing about that because our local football teams, they don't make it that far.
Yeah, we're good for the quarterfinals.
They might make state like every 5-10 years.
Well, I was fortunate enough to play in state championship games playing at Hazelwood High School in the early 80s. And back then it was on the road or, it was never a neutral site. So we played at Dadeville, Terrell Owens' hometown, Alexander City, one year. Sweetwater the year before. Now they don't do that, of course, but it is a pretty good atmosphere when they put them all in the.
We always got stuck playing Madison Academy, and at that point it was like, all right, we're done.
Yeah, but can you not see what the problems going on in America, why private schools have grown?
Mm-hmm. Oh, and for sure.
There's a reason for it. Mars Hill, developed a football program, committed to it, growing. Kids are, if you lose your alpha males from all your surrounding schools,
that's it. You're done. You're cooked.
You're done. You're done.
Yeah.
Well,
when they can
been
recruit,
our quarterback ever since mini midgets, and now he's gone.
I think our last year, my graduating year was the last year that we had like the big guys.
Decent,
okay, we can compete.
Yeah.
Like I played varsity basketball from my 7th grade year to 12th grade, and I started from 7th grade to 12th grade because our guys that was older wasn't. I mean,
right.
they couldn't do it.
It's a skill sport,
and so we went to Sweet 16. We did quad really well for what we was. We had 5 seniors and 3 sophomores.
Right.
My senior year.
That's a lot of youth.
Mm-hmm. So the 5 starters was seniors, and those were the ones that played. Only time we got subbed out is if we were needing to hit an oxygen mask.
I never said a minute when I played.
Me neither.
Whole game. You need out. You run for a life.
Yeah.
You run everywhere.
Yeah. Then they'd forget you and say, what are you doing? I've been sitting over here for 2 minutes. You better get us back in. No, I played with a lot of really great athletes at Hazelwood and Town Creek, Alabama. And, my brother played at Indiana State with Larry Bird's brother and Akeem Olajuwon's brother. And not many kids get to come out of Alabama and get to do that.
Yeah.
But
no.
Numerous state championships. And
he started a big fight up there at the game.
He had a fight. Y'all look it up on YouTube. The Wichita State, Indiana State fight. He started it, got suspended. They finished the game with 2 players, Eddie Bird, which was Larry's baby brother. You can watch that video on live.
It's out there.
Yeah. We'll have to look it up.
Yeah. The local news channels did not recognize that he was a local guy, 48, Harold Bug and all that bunch. And they were just playing. It was a fight in Wichita State. And it would have been a lot better storyline if they'd have knew who it was, started it. So
that you won't have that nowadays. There's
No.
no more scrappy ball. There's no more like let's take it.
Every now and then you'll have it, but not as much as
No.
No, sports.
now. It's
Sports athletes are better. They're better conditioned. The games transition to a whole different level. They follow the NBA's rule. We're running 4-out, 5-out offenses, and then they'll say, "Well, we're not rebounding well." It's because you're playing with 5 guards. Every shot's from the 3-point line.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if it ain't a long rebound, you ain't getting it. It's coming off hard. But
There's no pounding it down low. I'm gonna pound it down your throat. I don't.
when's the last big man you've seen around here in the high school level? All guards.
since we graduated.
Well, yeah, we had one. Garrett, the guy.
Garrett,
He
like
was 6'9".
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like in his hand was.
And my brother was 6'9", but when he graduated, there was like 4 of those boys around the Shoals area, but now it's none.
No, I was a 6'3" point guard.
Yeah, that was me, 6'3".
Yeah. I'm not even knocking on 6 foot yet, so
It'll keep changing. It evolves. To
Take
whatever.
Viagra, you'll get taller.
Yeah,
something will anyway.
yeah. That stuff's a wonder drug.
I need all the help I can get, son. Yeah, I never played basketball. I ran track and fished, so I played baseball back in middle school.
Matthew was a track champion. He pole vault.
Yeah, I did that too. Yeah,
He took
pole
a
vaulting.
Viagra, tripped, pole vaulted, pulled out the door. You have to watch that stuff. Pfizer sponsored him.
You didn't take no Pfizer, did you?
No,
You might
Pfizer
be-
stock,
might-
if you
might-
could afford it.
Moderna either, you know.
No, I'm out on that.
Yeah.
Out on that.
That'll
look.
go down as one of the biggest farces in history. 50 years from now, they'll talk about it in classrooms.
Oh yeah.
They lined people up, took shots for no reason. Zero reason except for company.
I'm just
money.
wondering about what all diseases is going to happen in 50 years from now, just because of people taking a shot that's been out for 6 months.
We probably won't be around to know it,
Yeah, probably.
but
not.
it'll be a study. It'll be a
Kids coming out with 3 eyes,
Yeah.
2 noses.
it'll be something.
Well, what's crazy, I never got COVID and never took a shot. But I know a guy who had COVID, and then he got somehow suckered into taking the shot. He took the shot, and it was worse than the COVID. Like, he almost died it messed with his heart. Like, he was in the hospital for a couple of weeks. Like, it was rough. So,
Yeah. Nucor Steel. I was employed with Nucor Steel at that time. They'd ran a COVID lottery. They were offering at Nucor Trinity, where I was at, $8,000 a week, and they would draw names out of the employees that got the shot, and you'd win $8,000 on your check
if you got the shot,
if you got the
Oh, my
shot. They were
God.
trying to encourage people to be a part of the lottery and go get the shot because they got government contracts, federal contracts, so they were, pushing it. They were central.
that should be illegal, to be honest with you.
Yeah, $8,000 a top. So they didn't get enough people after week 3 to sign up. They discontinued it. People weren't falling for it, even though the money was.
At least everybody stood and didn't do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but half the country or half the world did. So Pfizer got
Well,
rich.
and where I worked at, they was rumors, and we never really heard it from the big man, but there was rumors that we would have to take it if we wanted to stay there. Where as soon as everybody found out about the rumor, over 75% of us said, "Okay, we'll leave," and that squashed it. Like, it went away. Like,
Yeah.
never heard anything else
That's like
about it. so-
solidarity. Isn't it?
Bad when doctors aren't taking the shot.
Oh yeah, I know.
You'd
Like,
be surprised if people stuck together. What would happen if people stuck together and got up and voted? We wouldn't be dealing with what we got in this country right now.
I said the same thing today.
yeah, exactly.
There's so much, like, people nowadays are so brainwashed and just dumb that they don't understand that if everybody stand together, we can do whatever we want.
We can
There-
fix it.
We can. We could go
We
to the
can-
White House and say, "Hey,
Done.
get out of here," and there's nothing they can do.
Fire them like a Baptist preacher. Just drag them. So you're done, cuz.
But they won't. But everybody's just. It's so two-sided. You've got, oh, well, they done this, well, they did this, or they didn't do this. I'm like, okay, you know what?
I mean, I called it from day one, and if you notice, like right after the election in 2020, it just slowly faded out.
And,
Didn't really hear
and here
about it.
comes the election now. COVID's kind of
Yep,
creeping
creeping
back up.
Yeah,
Yes.
Yep.
I called it from the get-go. I was like, they're going to do the COVID. They're going to pull the COVID card to put them mail-in ballots into order. That's going to be their
Absolutely.
reason, and then that's exactly what they did.
Was it 7, 8 states right now? The mail-in ballots started going into play. Georgia, one of them, Pennsylvania, Arizona. They're starting to mail them today.
Is it
Really?
Texas? Yeah, it's
It was
Texas.
several states.
Well, Texas, I seen something where Texas had, they're all about their border patrol, like control and all that. Well, they went in there and they've went through and took so many non-residents off of their back. Like,
Yeah,
you
they
can't
purged
register. All the dead people that's died that was still registered, they've took them off. Like, they've went through and took off thousands of people.
Yeah.
And they're like, everybody's like, oh, Texas is actually standing up to them. Because they're trying to, because that's what they're going to do. They just use those people or.
The system needs tweaked. It's definitely got flaws.
I'm a big believer we need to come off a two-party system and go to at least a three-party system. But that's just my personal.
Well, they wouldn't even, let Kennedy on the independent.
I know,
Yeah.
I'll tell you that. Did y'all? So whenever they did the debate, Biden and Trump, he actually did his own independent debate on Twitter or X.
Yeah.
Did y'all see that?
I did.
I watched that one. If he would have been, I believe, if he would have been on that stage, I don't think neither Trump or Biden could have hung with, like, as far as
Kennedy. You mean?
Kennedy. He was on top of it. I was like really disappointed since he's kind of suspended his campaign and endorsed Trump, which they wasn't no way he was going to win anyway. But I would like to thought like if he would have won, I think that would have been our best.
But
best
think
bet.
about this, Matt. Won't it be code him be the CIA director?
Yeah,
Killed his uncle and his daddy,
that would be.
and he can purge that system personally and get it.
I hope he
payback.
does. Yeah,
well,
I
that
hope he
would be.
does.
That would be
talking
good.
about the irony of that one.
I hope so.
And maybe they'll clean house with all these three-letter word, places. And good thing Ducks is 5, so
Yeah.
it won't be involved.
Yeah, we're on a different federal program than they are.
Yeah, we're under the Farm Bill. Yeah, we're looking for help in other areas. But, if those guys had better hobbies and, worrying about selling F-35s and stuff.
Yeah, it's crazy. Once you start digging into it and, like, the war bonds that they're doing for Ukraine, and once you start really digging into it, it's like, these.
Kennedy explained it better than anything that, Russia tried to settle that diplomatically. They didn't want no part of it. America, they don't want no more countries in NATO, but we do because they're, beholden to us and buying our weapons. And look, you can Google the top 5 military stock tickers. Lockheed, Northrop. Look at them and see how well they're doing.
Oh, they're doing really good. You know who owns them all?
That's right, BlackRock.
BlackRock.
They own Norfolk
We
Southern Railroad.
we touched base on that a couple podcasts.
They own the railroads too. You notice nothing happened in East Palestine. They're powerful and corrupt.
They own everything. Them and Vanguard.
Yeah.
I think really the only interest they have in that is because Ukraine's got a bunch of farmland over there too. That's one big kicker.
Kennedy said it was the richest farmland in the world, and people's been fighting over it for 1,000 years.
Well, if you look, I seen a study, like if you look over here, like in the Midwest, on who owns the majority of the farmland in Midwest, it's BlackRock and Vanguard still.
Yeah, those big farmers, borrowing money and owns, indebted to them.
Yeah, that's a rabbit hole. That's a never-ending rabbit hole.
Yeah, what call the money? Got to have it. Got to have it. I'm glad we don't have any money.
You talking about getting rid of Baptist preachers? You know what the difference between a Baptist preacher and a Methodist preacher is?
No, what's that, Matt?
Baptist preacher will say hello in the beer joint.
I have met a few of them leaving. And we see them at our
That's all right.
events.
Hey, that's fine.
Yeah, I don't mind speaking to them.
Jesus drank wine, so I mean,
Yeah.
all right, I guess.
Yeah. He's a forgiving guy, but he will put you down. He went forth and purged the desert.
Yep, that's another thing. Like me and Dale, you've been talking about the Book of Enoch for.
Yeah.
How much do you know about that?
I just read stuff. Of course, follow a lot of stuff on TikTok, and a lot of the reason. But the Book of Enoch was removed for, supposedly because it's talking about the Nephilim, the giants that walked the earth. I keep trying to find a reason. One guy said in a theory, this was a theory, that the Book of Enoch was removed because it described Jesus as being of African descent. So I asked a preacher that, and he said that wasn't a reason. He said it was more of a historical perspective, so they pulled it out. I said, so how can you pull out the son of Cain, right, and the great grandfather of Noah? If Enoch don't exist, they don't exist.
Exactly.
Sure, yeah.
How do you pull that out of there? That don't make sense to me, guys. If you pull Julius H. Liles out of my family tree, none of us
Yeah,
exist. So you telling me the son of Cain, Cain, Abel, and Seth came later,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden they don't exist? That don't make sense. But if you read the book of Enoch, guys, and I ordered it off of TikTok and read it, and I'm like, I can see why they didn't want nobody knowing about this. He discusses the portals and the wind directions, and there was 200 angels cast out of heaven. 19 was buried under the Euphrates River as punishment, right? Because they were breeding with the women of earth, and they were teaching people of earth how to make metal weapons and jewelry and giving them knowledge. And he punished them and told them to flood the earth, the deluge. All that's in there. How can you discourage that or discredit it without taking out, Cain's got to go. If you take Enoch out, Noah's got to go because he don't exist without his great-granddaddy.
Enoch, yeah.
If you read it and, make your own opinion, they say a lot of that's mythology. The devil was cast out because he had too much pride, kicked him.
Like the Baptist preacher.
Baptist preacher. So you reckon those preachers are being prideful when they get removed, or not, sticking to the gospel like they're supposed to do instead of worrying about 10%?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's the difference, though, because, as me or as a person, as a human, you can't be perfect. So they're definitely prideful.
Yeah.
When it comes to that.
So what is your interpretation of that Enoch?
I don't know a whole lot about it. I've never read it. I do think it's very interesting because if you look at some of the stories in the book of Enoch, and then you look around, I found out if you look around, all these different cultures in the world back in the day when there was no sending a text message or an email from Mexico to, East Asia, but they all have these depictions of giants and all of their work, and then you also have pretty much every culture has some sort of story about some guy having a boat and sailing across the world in a massive flood. So,
yeah,
I believe it.
But
for
look,
sure.
there's so much out there, right? They said the British Museum has these Sumerian tablets, the emerald tablets. You've heard this, right? In the British Museum, UCLA College has got them where you can interpret. It'll do an online interpretation if you stand there and watch them. So the Epic of Gilgamesh, you've heard of that? Mm-hmm. That is the story of Noah's Ark, told 3,000 years before Noah. And where? In the Sumerian text. So it's like they rewrote it for today's time. And wait a minute, let's take Enoch out of here.
They rewrote it for
modern times?
their benefit, more or less.
Yeah.
Like, okay, we're going to take out these few points that might send people thinking, because a lot of people's just, yep, okay.
And Gilgamesh is
yep,
probably
okay.
a little more harder to pronounce than Noah.
Yeah.
True.
And it says in there in the book of Enoch describing Noah, he was an albino, right? Mm-hmm. White hair and blue eyes. And they thought that he was part of the Anunnaki, bloodline when they started, multicultural creatures. And it speaks about that in the book of Enoch, that they were multicultural creatures that visited the earth. Because look, I've worked construction my whole life, been around equipment, and they can't pick up them pyramid stones right now with equipment.
No, you couldn't.
No, absolutely not.
So, and you're out there doing it with sandals and a robe? It ain't happening.
And some tree
It ain't
stumps.
happening. And here's another one. I'm a big arrowhead collector, right? I love Native American history. So the same time all this history was going on in the cradle of life, right, in Africa, the Nile, the Euphrates, all this, and they're building this, and they got gold, engravings, gold, whatever. Society tells us that 3,000 years or 20,000 years BC before Christ that you're finding paleo arrowheads, a Cumberland or a Clovis, right, which is the first weapons of man on our side, and all they were doing was grunting, couldn't talk, no language. But over here on this side of the world, they're building, sarcophagus with guys buried in it and mummified and gold everywhere. The Sphinx is 40 foot high.
Yeah.
Come on, man. Something ain't right. But, you have to just read that stuff, and it's probably mythology, so, they make movies about Wonder Woman and Hercules. And Thor,
The
and
Hulk.
Thor.
Odin's son, and yeah.
It's like
It's just so interesting. It's
What-
intriguing to,
yeah.
to like.
The book is not that long, and I'm telling you, just read it for your own knowledge. Because,
Yeah.
like I said, and it's not trying to dispute nothing, but if Enoch is removed, how is Cain still there, and how is Noah still there?
It's a broken.
How did you? The lineage is not right.
mm-hmm.
You can't have secretariat without man of war, right?
So who are they? Who are they? If they're trying to remove the book of Enoch, who are they saying wrote the book, or do they even know? Or just they just think it's a story.
They don't. They don't know. Is it fabled? All of it. That the giants, the Nephilim giants, stood 18 foot high
Yeah.
and was breeding with women. That would be a sight in itself, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
You know, but the babies, the offspring of that created was that Nephilim, right? He said that was what they were purging, world, the deluge, the great
Yeah.
deluge, pre-deluge or post-deluge. They didn't call it a flood. It's deluge in the book.
Deluge.
Yeah,
I think it's definitely interesting. I mean,
I see.
I just don't know if, like, so back then, why would all of these civilizations and cultures just make up the idea that there's giants around here?
And they all
if
match
there's
up.
not, you know,
And they all match up.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like, you're
was
on.
it? Is it Myers Cave in Utah? Was that one? What was it? Myers? What do we call that? That looking for Indian artifacts, and they walked up on the two giants in a casket. One was 18
You
foot,
sent
and the
that
woman
to
was
me.
12 foot.
Yeah.
Myers Cave, wasn't it?
Let me see.
I sent it to him later, but they dug it up, and the Smithsonian, the Smithson family, got it, took it, and you'll never
You'll
be
never
seen
see it.
again. Yeah, the Kandahar giant. I was telling Matthew coming over here. You know, the Navy SEAL teams fought in Afghanistan. You seen that story? Google that one on Facebook. Red-headed giant, 16 foot high. They killed him and flew him out of there.
You sent me something on the Back Creek stone. That's in Tennessee.
Yeah,
though.
that was in Tennessee.
Yeah.
That was some more inscribed stuff that was dug up. They can't explain.
No, that was a tablet in Hebrew back when, and they dated it back
Found
to
in Cook
where-
Creek, Tennessee.
Yeah, when the Indians was here. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think there's a lot. I mean, there's always going to be a lot of history that that nobody's going to know about, because I don't think, like, if you hear about the scientists, humans have only roughly been here for, like, I want to say it's like 6,000 or 7,000 years. It's not long.
Yeah.
There's no way. I mean, there's
So where did the
no.
pyramids come from if they were built 20,000 years BC?
Well, they're saying it's like they only date them back, a couple thousand years ago.
yeah.
If you read the history books they teach you in school, there's just no way. Them things are. They was actually
Alabama. We had, everybody in general Alabama history. Matthew remembers this. We had 4 tribes of Indians, right? Choctaw, Cherokee, Chickasaw, Crow, but they were all in 4 spots, right? So
Yeah.
you look at the dates that what they say these things were from anywhere from Mississippian period to Paleo, right? Paleo's 10 to 20,000
Yeah.
archaic, and then compare it to the dates and timelines what was going on in Egypt. So you telling me if we swim across the water, are they smarter than we are? We walk around with a club and an arrowhead on the end of it.
Yeah.
Bat, deer. You know what? And they're floating around in boats and elephants trained to pull blocks and doing it with sandals on.
5,000 miles away.
5,000 miles
Yeah.
away, engraving stone and making chambers and something. Come on, what's wrong with that picture?
I think that
They make
I think
canoes
Egypt-
over
It's the
here and
South.
boats over there.
they was
That's
there.
why they make fun of the South.
Yeah.
They had to, right?
Uh,
So Indian Geronimo would make a canoe that hold 3 braves, and they're over there making ships.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Trailer parks over here.
Think about that. What do they want us to believe here? Yeah, we sailed the 7 seas with rationing, had enough food and forethought to put food and weapons and supplies on there, and then we got nothing on this side over here. Smallpox blankets.
Have you ever seen what is the Mayflower and all that? Have you ever been?
Yeah,
they had
small,
it.
ain't it?
Yeah, they had it over there in Gunnersville. We was over
a
there.
replica, yeah.
That thing is not.
Yeah.
Come
Ain't
on now,
no
you
way.
had all
There's-
that on there.
Yeah, they're saying that was the actual size, right? So
They
what-
said it's the actual size.
Yeah.
Like
the queen was moving gold back and forth.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I wouldn't trust.
I seen that.
I've been on some sketchy duck boats, and I wouldn't be on that one.
yeah. Think about that.
No.
There was none of those boats on this continent at that time.
I'm fully convinced the pyramids was there before the Egyptian pyramid or the period.
Oh, yeah.
Because if you look at their text, there's not one depiction of them building the pyramids. There's not any documentation that they done that. And that's supposed to be the greatest feat that man's ever done. It's going to be documented somewhere, I would think.
So here's another way to look at that. So why were they called the seventh wonders of the world?
Mm-hmm.
The 3 pyramids of Giza, right?
Mm-hmm.
So why was the other pyramids not recognized? The Aztecs,
because there's
think about this: the Bermuda Triangle's a pyramid underwater. The North Pole, Antarctica, there were pyramids all over the world, but those, because they were the cradle of life. What was the reason for that? That's ones we'll make them. We'll talk about these. We're not going to talk about the rest of them.
Yeah.
I don't know, but there's definitely more of them.
Try to guide everybody over here. Let's just all go this way.
Yeah,
That's what we talked about not too long ago. Is
Oh yeah.
they try to put a blinder on everybody. Okay, don't look over here at this. Look over here, shiny new toy. Go that way so you don't really figure out the truth.
yeah.
And that's
like politicians. You reckon that's where it started? Yeah. Let's just talk about the talking points. What people are trending now. Algorithms.
Yeah.
We don't talk about what's really going on in the world. People
Let's
need
just hit the
jobs.
high spots.
Yep.
Yeah.
Let's tell them what they want to hear.
Yeah, let's make abortion the biggest issue in the Democratic Party, and not the price of eggs and gas.
Yeah.
How can you
Or
be
just
that
the cost of
dumb?
living. Yeah.
You got to be that dumb to believe that side.
Mm-hmm.
It's pitiful.
Have y'all seen what's going on in Colorado?
Yeah, the Venezuela gangs.
They're just
taking
coming
over.
up. You
In Chicago,
ain't
too.
heard about that, have you? I mean,
Wow.
besides on social media.
Major media, yeah.
So if that was going on here in Beaumont, Alabama, what would be going on?
No, it'd be an all-out freaking war right here.
Yeah,
But they would not,
it wouldn't happen in Barton,
Coleman
Alabama.
Daly. Coleman Daly might hit
The
it up.
Barton Braves would have took care of that. You ain't, if you've seen one Venezuela at Cane Creek boat ramp, he's like,
He's gone.
he's gone. He's out of here. That don't even make sense in how politicians are involved in shipping them in here and paying them while people's doing without.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they're just dropping them off. We had
a bus loads of them.
Haitian
I heard
people.
that.
Yeah.
Athens had them on the news, dropping them off up there at a truck stop or something.
They were dropping them off at the
At the career center.
yeah.
At the career center. Already putting them to work.
Yeah, trying to.
They
Yeah,
were
pre-screen them.
bring them in. Come on.
Yeah, they dropped them off at the front. It was a human resources department. Yeah, they dropped them off.
Schools
the front
can't
door,
even
yeah.
deny them if they put in for your school. You got to accept them because you get that federal money. So Trump's trying to take the Department of Education away to give it to the state so they can deny
Well,
it.
what's happening is all these big Democratic cities that was talking, years and years of this. Oh yeah, we're a sanctuary city. Bring them in. They got to be tired of them because they're
they're
shipping,
full.
They're the ones that
Yeah.
shipping them out to everybody else. So
And they're full, so they and those are the people that are voting. They're not supposed to be, but they probably are.
Yeah, they're going to
Oh,
vote.
yeah.
And so
Yeah.
they're full of them. So
They
they're
came
thinking,
for a
okay, we'll
purpose.
send them somewhere else because we can't tell them to get out because then there goes all of our support. So let's send them somewhere else.
Yeah, you can bet your tail they're going to vote.
I was
They're
down.
already.
I was down in Tunica about a month and a half ago, and they were talking about the old Grand Casino, which is shut down now. That they're trying to bus in these Mexicans and Venezuelans down there, and they want them to redo the hotel. And one of the pit bosses said, "Ain't nothing down there but snakes and raccoons in that building." But they're fighting against it to keep them happy. They don't want them in there.
So that's where they're going to lodge them. That's the plan.
Trying to, yeah.
that's exactly where they're going to shack them up at.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
Wonder
a
how
big
much
hotel.
grant
Well-
money or money on the table those guys, casino owners, is getting to do that.
Well, they're trying to fight against it.
Yeah.
Well, to the Democrat, it's beneficial to them because that's just extra votes that they get.
That's what I'm saying.
That's probably
They gotta
why
send 'em somewhere.
they're sending them to these conservative states trying to get their numbers up. That's exactly what they're doing.
Change policy. They've figured out never fire a shot. And, it's happening all over Europe, the UK, outnumbering them. They already outnumber them in several states and are holding political positions. Minnesota, for example. There's a girl up there. What's her name? I don't know who she is, but she should never be in a public office. And they already outnumber them there. Done got the Islamic flag flying. And,
Oh yeah, I seen that.
yeah, how
Got
she
Tampon
winning
Tim in there.
Tampon Tim, the horse raider. It's like something that's made up in a movie. Riding all over the country speaking. Who puts tampons in a boy's bathroom?
It's crazy.
That's
That happened in America.
Happening. That's another topic.
That's a
That's
good thing they can't cancel us, right?
Yeah, it's hard to cancel somebody now.
Yeah, that's about over with. That old canceling, getting mad at 'em.
Cancel culture.
Yeah, I don't agree with it. The economy alone
There-
should be
yeah.
the major issue.
They
Not,
only canceled the truth.
Yeah, I was that exactly.
Exactly. That's what I was
They'll
fixing to
cancel
say.
the crap out of you. If you're speaking the truth, and it doesn't line up to their agenda, yeah, you're.
'Cause if
they
it doesn't
end up-
bother them, they would just not worry about it.
yeah, they'll censor your town now on those social media sites if you aren't speaking the truth.
I know a
That's
few
why they wanna
guys.
get rid of
I know a
TikTok.
few guys that stay in Facebook jail.
I know a lot of it does.
Stay in there.
180 days.
Joe in the hole just got you in trouble, man.
Yeah.
Right there.
That's why Elon That's why he bought Twitter out, just for that reason. He bought it to have a non-censored platform.
They don't touch anything on there.
No,
do they?
it's Wild West, buddy.
Whatever you put on there, like it should be. And
Yeah, they're cracking down. You know, they don't want you to have freedom of speech.
I got put in jail we've been clearing our duck property off, me and my son, and I put a, TikTok thing together. And they was going to ban me for 180 days for just clearing duck holes and planting them. And that's all the pictures were.
Really.
Yeah. And it never would get a view. And I'm like, what's wrong with that? And it had a message, and you violated community guidelines. I'm like, what have I done?
Yeah, you can't. But
You can't put dead birds on there. I know that. I got put in jail for that one time.
Deer.
Nothing.
Nothing dead. Nothing dead.
which is crazy.
except Venezuelans. Yeah, it is crazy.
You can post Venezuelans shooting up an apartment complex, but you can't put a
You can
picture of a dead duck on
you
there.
can put a pack of bologna on there and they won't touch it. It come from the same spot.
Can of
Potted
Spam.
meat, spam. Yeah, we don't want to hurt nobody's feelings in this country. You can have one atheist file a complaint. This happened in Lauderdale County, Alabama, because of public-funded prayer before a high school football game. This was at a Brooks high school football game. If any of my Brooks friends are on here, an atheist who lived in Rogersville, Alabama, filed a complaint because it was publicly funded microphone, and now nobody gets to pray at the high school games.
You're
Because
kidding.
one atheist, non-believer, decided that he was offended. And the bigger issue in pardon of friend, who gives a shit if he's offended? Just keep saying your prayers.
Yeah, at the end of the day, that's your opinion.
Yeah.
Hey,
Everybody's got them.
I'm not saying you can't have that opinion,
Yeah, read a book.
but that
while
shouldn't
they do it.
justify my
Right.
opinion. That shouldn't justify what I think.
That happened, and that's the kind of
You
complaints
don't have to bow your head
that
and
don't
close
go
your eyes.
published in the paper
No.
or you hear about. Local school board gets sued, and then they have to put out a memo, hey, you can't do this, and now we do a moment of silence because you can't say it on that publicly funded microphone in America, right?
That's. Oh, what's the world coming to?
Yeah,
An end.
that's what.
Yeah.
And y'all know as good as well as I do, the absence of God, the godliness in this country
yeah.
is what is wrong with it.
That is exactly. That's
That is
100% what's wrong with it.
100% that we would get smacked by anybody in the room when we were kids, and you yes sir, no sir, yes ma'am, no ma'am. Now it's just reckless. It's a
It's a
generation
free-for-all.
of decrepit free for all, and it's going to get worse.
Mm-hmm.
It
Oh,
is.
yeah.
It's going to get worse because you can't offend those people. They're running this country.
They have more rights than you do for sure.
Yeah, just keep going your hobbies and be glad you got them. Or outdoors, or duck hunting, or
Until they take that away.
Yeah, so that offends people.
PETA, yeah.
good
That's
for
all,
them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll give them all the duck breasts they want. They got to help clean them. That's the only way out. We'll shoot every wood duck on the roost we can get just to help them.
Mm-hmm.
Take pictures for them. Me and Matthew will be a spokesman for them. Yeah, I like to start a "We Killed It" campaign. Yeah, and have little 12-year-old boys. Used to in America, every teenage boy in the South could shoot a squirrel at a half a mile. With the wind blowing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I killed it. You're gonna represent the South today. I killed a fox squirrel that it's last of its kind. Who cares? Now go cook it.
Mm-hmm.
I always said if the world would go back to, you take the social media away, right?
Yeah.
You go back to, you either kill what you eat or you plant what you eat, and just, that's it. This world would be so much
Well,
But-
what's this world going to come to, though, when the time comes when people can't do that, when it's an emergency?
That's what I'm saying. It's coming to that.
Natural fighting, killing,
Oh, yeah.
robbing, it's coming.
At that
80%
point,
of the population is going to be
at that
whacked.
I'd hate to know I was the only guy in the neighborhood with cucumbers and tomatoes planted.
Yeah.
And ain't nobody eating a week. You garden them things, with a machete that you couldn't buy without them carding you at Academy. It's messed up out there. Oh,
Yep.
and when it gets to that point, that's when the government 100% wins.
yeah.
They can do what they
Whenever
want.
whenever they get to that point,
It's
they
the
can do
people we
martial
elect.
law.
Got to get up and vote, America. If y'all listen to this out there, you got to get up and vote. It does matter.
It does.
Even in a state like Alabama that
It
we know
kills that-
Trump's
yeah.
going to carry, go vote. Show the
yeah.
world that what our population in this
it-
state, we meant something.
That kills me when somebody's, asks, did you go out and vote today? No, my vote don't matter. It don't matter here.
It's just one. Okay, well, if you've got a 2,000 people that say that,
Yeah.
okay, there's
In a-
2,000
yeah,
votes.
in a small
Absolutely.
In a
community.
small
yeah.
little community. Okay,
Yeah.
you did great.
Yeah,
Good
they-
job.
Then you got a mayor that ain't doing anything because those 2,000 didn't vote. He gets elected unopposed, and he's just doing whatever his little group wants him to do every time. We wonder, why ain't our potholes getting fixed? Why ain't the vector patrol been over and sprayed mosquitoes and killed 2 of my grandkids? That's because nobody would vote. I got to go work, or I'm going down and drink a beer with the boys. It takes 5 minutes to go in there and vote. It's really inexcusable. But we had an idea one time that presidential elections are every 4 years, right? Make it take President's Day that gets people pay for, and every 4th year President's Day swaps with Election Day. You go show me that you voted and you get a day's pay at work. Make it a national paid
Oh,
holiday.
yeah, that'd be.
But they
won't
thrive
do
on
it,
people
yeah.
not voting.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Because, there's no way in heck they win that election if everybody gets up and votes. There's no way in heck that people
And
want what we got.
Another thing that kills me is people will vote on something that they have absolutely no idea what they're voting for.
Well,
They're
because
just going
you
with the
told
crowd.
me.
Yep.
You told me, yeah, I'm for it.
And
Okay.
everybody from childhood up has got an iPhone in their hand, right? And the fingertips to Google something, search it, read about it. And when we talk about like the book Enoch, that's just reading, believe what as you will. I'm not forcing that on you. I'm just saying it's interesting. But at least check out what you're doing. It's public knowledge. Every bill passed.
Don't be
every
a yes man.
grassroots, don't be. Don't be. Then the world has too many followers. They don't want alpha males running this country.
Don't be a yes man and just say, yep.
That's
You're
why they
right.
don't like Trump. He's an alpha. He ain't gonna listen to it.
Yeah.
If he disagrees,
He's going to be bullied around, yeah.
yeah, we want him to be what he is when he gets in there. He's not a politician for one, and I know a lot of people don't like him because he's a felon. But
I seen a thing. It was like Trump's got the most street cred. He's a full blown felon now, and he's been with hookers.
been with hookers, he's been shot.
And now he's been shot.
He's
yeah,
been
so-
bankrupt like every American in the planet has. He's a legend, man.
Yeah.
And look, I don't want his autograph. I'd like to just drink a beer with old boy.
Yeah.
And
Well, he don't drink though. He's never had a drink in
But
his
that's
life.
cool. We'll drink milk.
Yeah.
Whatever. I'd like to break bread with him one time because he gets a little carried away and probably needs to censor himself some, or what he says. But he's being him.
Yep.
Just be you, buddy.
That's what the world
America
needs.
don't like.
That's right.
They want you to be something else besides you.
They want you to be what they want you to be.
You
Absolutely.
think about somebody walking into a NATO meeting and saying, "We're not paying another dime. Y'all gonna pay y'all share. We've been carrying y'all sorry butts for all these years." And man, he was right. Man, that pissed him off. But
They paid the money.
yeah, everybody's got a freeloader in their family, right?
Well,
Uncles,
that's like
cousins.
Yeah,
that's
somebody-
like
yep.
the union down here, UPS down here in Hartselle. Something happened where they was tired of the way they were doing them, so they all went home. They said deuces. Well, they gave them what they wanted.
Sure they did. Sure they did.
Because what are they gonna do?
Yeah,
Okay.
collective bargaining's a right? What's wrong with people forming a union and then negotiating a contract with somebody? If a kid walked up to cut your yard, how much you gonna pay me, Matt? Oh, I'll give you 40. No, I'll take 50. That's what he's doing. It's a
Yep.
collective.
That's all he's doing.
Negotiation.
Negotiation, yep.
The rule: who speaks first in a negotiation always loses.
That's
right.
That's the first rule of selling, too.
That's right. Same business. But we don't like unions. Is what corporations. That's because they have to pay a benefits package. A lot of companies are great companies around here without unions and treat their people right. Nucor is one of them. I really thought they run their company good. They pay them well. And they got a few jackasses as supervisors that probably shouldn't be in leadership. You have people in leadership positions that can't lead, that couldn't lead feces through the small intestines. And that's a natural path. You think about that. That shouldn't be in leadership. It's not made for everybody.
Just because they know a guy. That's all.
Because they know a guy. They know a guy. That's exactly right.
Done some table
Matt.
favors.
I owe Matthew Till, because we grew up together, to hire his great-grandson.
That's right.
And put him over 7,000 employees.
And he can't even read and write.
Yeah. Think about that.
Don't even know how to spell his name.
You don't have to read and write nowadays. They don't have to sign a check, nothing. Just put a card in there
Yep.
and do it.
All you got to do is memorize the number.
So let me ask y'all this, guy. What do y'all think about week 1 of the new football playoff system, 12? We got teams that really fail, right? And then we got teams that supposed to win, playing those gimmies, paying people out of their pocket. Clemson, Florida State, I know that was
I was hoping for Clemson.
I
Yeah,
pulled
I
for
was
Clemson
rooting
because
for Clemson,
Dabo
yeah.
Swinney spent a weekend in Town Creek, Alabama one time in college with Clyde Good, Poochie Good, and he went to the Yellow Hole and partied. And if you've ever been to the Yellow Hole, Dabo's got to be the coolest coach in the country. And if I ever meet him, I'm going to say, Dabo, did you go to the Yellow Hole with Poochie? You my man. My man. And he spent the weekend in Town Creek. But he's a nice guy. He's a great person, a leader, obviously. But, you know, he's got to get in that portal or he's going to be unemployed.
He's
They said there was
he's
three
terrified of
teams
it. Yeah.
that didn't do the portal, have starting. It was Army, Navy, and Clemson.
Yeah. He's the only one with the armed service teams.
Yeah.
That,
Can the Army and Navy do that though?
I don't know.
Yeah, I was about to say that's
hey,
kind
you
of.
want to transfer to the Marines? No, sir.
We'll
Call
pay
old
for your
Joe
school.
up. We need $23 billion over here. We got to get some players.
Think about that one. Now, that would be tough. But
Yeah, he's going to have to do something this next
And then you got
off season.
You got OFSU. They
No, they bombed it
oh,
twice.
they
Wow.
fell,
Back
they
to
fell for
back.
grace. They have, oh, my God.
I
They
think
got
it's
bigger
hilarious.
issues on defensive side of the ball than the quarterback.
They've got hammered their last 3 games they played, going back to Georgia last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, the last 3 games, 100-something points on defense. And, of course, the guy can't even throw for a first down.
I find it funny those Alabama transfers that went over there.
Oh, my God. Who
I
was the running back?
bet they're feeling so bad.
Who was the running back that went over there?
Oh, what was his name?
I can say his name, but I know he's feeling like
Yeah,
Mama.
it's on tip of my. I can't think.
Can
of
you
it
see
right
that call to Mama? Mama, I messed up. What are we doing?
Spending that money you
The
got paid.
Seminole Nation is not happy.
now. Yeah, they flashed a little money on him, and he's out.
That Appaloosa horse is going to lose its spots before it's over with.
Oh yeah,
It'll go.
it's done.
Yeah,
I don't even think they're going to have. They're probably not even going to have a winning season if they played like they've been playing.
They lost to Boston
Yeah.
College, double digit. They were 16.5 point spread if you go by the spread. So they were down big. It's embarrassing. Norvell will probably be at a different place next year.
Yeah, that
Florida's hurting, boy.
the Notre Dame and Texas A&M game, that was a close one. That one, I watched the second half of it. It was a good game.
College Station, obviously a tough place to play, right? But those teams probably middle of the pack. They fighting for that 11th and 12th spot maybe down the road.
Yeah.
LSU, think about this, ranked 13th, and then you got to climb back in, playing the schedule they play.
Yeah.
That's going to be a
LSU,
It'll take care
they
of
done
itself
that.
if they win.
if you win.
They done that to themselves. So they had that game won, and they just.
Yeah, he's conservative play calling. He's got to let him play. His quarterback.
Did
looked
you see
good.
his interview after?
Yeah,
Oh, he went wild.
He was.
yeah,
Did
he
you
was
see
on
his interview?
Adderall.
No, I didn't see it.
He was on Adderall or something.
Yeah,
he was
he-
throwing fits.
Yeah, he was beating the table. He blaming his team.
He was almost like they are who we thought they were. You know, you remember that speech from the
Yeah.
Minnesota Vikings? USC's quarterback. Look, it's a game of quarterbacks, right? And we used to say you bet, don't ever bet against a home underdog or whatever. But the top 10 quarterbacks in the country, you can bet on them every week. They're just about going to cover because they're dominant. Georgia looked like a freight train, physically.
I thought Clemson was going to give them a run for their money for about the first 5 minutes of the ball game. Then after that, it was
The old
they got-
halftime adjustments.
they, they
The wheels fell off.
Yes.
that one imploded on them. But I think Bama played really. I know they didn't play nobody, but I think we played really good.
They look good.
Yeah.
Ryan Williams, exceptional. We got to see him most shows. He ran all over us like he was skating on a
Did he used to play y'all? Or-
yeah, I got eliminated by him in the playoffs.
Ow.
And got to see it firsthand. And We had a really good football team with a lot of 4-5s and stuff on the field, and it looked like he was playing against kids on the playground.
Wow.
Yeah.
He's 17 years. That blew my mind. I didn't know he was 17 until they said something. I was like, holy crap.
Reminds me a lot of Devontae Smith.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's not very big physically.
I said he reminded me a lot of Tyreek.
Yeah. He can
He's
fly.
fast.
Speed will kill anything.
Yeah. He will.
You know, you got Alabama, Auburn, Ole Miss, all of them hitting 50, 60, 70 points, you know.
Yeah.
Ole Miss going to be something to deal with.
Ole Miss is going to be a team this
Saban
year.
said their front seven on both sides now looks like a SEC power, you know, to go with their quarterback and their skill.
Lane ain't messing around down there.
Lane's a good.
That was always their problem, was their lines.
Yeah, SEC's in good shape. They'll be well represented in the final of it.
Oh, for sure.
You know,
Only thing I didn't like about Alabama was I think they rely too much on Milroe. You can't. I know you got to have your quarterback, like you said.
yeah,
You got
it's
10
an
of them.
offensive game.
But like, if he gets hurt,
Look, Simpson impressed me though.
I said that myself. That
Jackson,
I think if he
Tennessee.
did get hurt, that he would be all right.
When he played last year against South Florida, wasn't it? Or Florida,
South Florida.
South Florida, he looked like a high school kid. And he's grown. And when he came in, I'm like, if he'll just stay healthy and let him grow another year, he'll be just like Mac Jones when he walked into his year after Jalen and, you know, Tua.
Well, he'll be our guy next year if they don't, transfer somebody in
Yeah,
there.
they're in good hands. And plus, they'll transfer in or sign whoever they want to.
Yeah.
You know, they got money. Like Matthew's an Auburn guy. They're not going to stay down long. The top-tier teams in the SEC is never going to stay down long.
No.
I've said it. I said it on my previous podcast. Auburn. It's about Auburn's time.
It is.
If you look back, it's time for them to come on up. They've kind of been
they'll
in
hit
the
it.
dumps for a little while.
Now, think about what Auburn's situation was like. Kirby Smart leaves Alabama and go where? Auburn, Georgia. Auburn just about recruited heavily out of Georgia. So he's recruiting whoever's at Auburn against Saban on one side and Kirby on the other. That's a pretty tough gig.
Mm-hmm.
And that had a lot to do with, their shortcomings there. So now it's changed. Saban's gone. Kirby's the dog now until somebody puts him out. Unless he gets parvo or something.
Hey, them dogs, they do get parvo.
Them dogs ain't playing. Them dogs are biting.
Well, give them their shots.
They're a lot of fun to watch.
They are.
Great college environment just watching them.
They had some really. I was surprised. Like, I was impressed on their play calling. That one, dude, their play calling is.
But why can you do that on a play calling, man? What makes that easy? What makes it look like
You got to have some
Oh,
players.
yeah, you got to have a good team.
the guy
yeah.
behind the center is a senior, All-American? You can do whatever you want to on offense. You can do whatever you want to. The kid at Tennessee, I can't even say his name. What's his name? Nanook.
And something like that.
They got NC State on Thursday night or one of the big games,
Yeah.
Saturday night, prime time.
Yeah.
So if Tennessee's got an elite quarterback and they can keep him 2 or 3 years, there's no reason Tennessee not to win like Auburn.
I think NC State. I think they're overrated.
They're part of that ACC
Yeah.
blunder. Yeah.
Be hard to get an ACC team anyway.
It might be. We may have more than 6 teams in that top 12, the way it may fall out because, it's all depending on your top quarterback.
What do you think
Jackson.
about Ohio State?
They got the money. They got it. That kid they got behind the center is supposed to be elite, right?
Yeah.
Ohio State's always one of the. You got to win Ohio to win the presidency. That's how many people's there. Youngstown State used to be the Division II powerhouse. They're a powerhouse place. They love football. I bet you Caleb Downs wish he hadn't left.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I thought that was stupid, but he said that the lineman Proctor at Alabama had. He took the $480,000 NIL money from Ohio State, stayed 2 weeks and left. Kept it. They wanted their, we want our money back. And now he's back at Bama, sitting over there with a fake shoulder injury. So you couldn't hurt that big son of a gun.
Take some money and run.
If you had a boat paddle, you couldn't hurt him. Them some big old boys.
They're huge.
Yeah, they are what it is. Alabama's been this way since I was a kid. They're just it's the label. It don't matter who coaches those places. Ohio State's it's the same one. Southern Cal. Who wouldn't want to coach at Southern Cal and your kids run around Hollywood all day? That's why, and they got more money.
Only thing that gets you over there coaching is the taxes.
All you got to do is apply to be a politician.
gonna
You don't
be
have to pay none.
That's gonna be rough when all these kids getting this money.
They don't. They
They ain't
gotta-
paid
They
They don't
gonna
spend
find
every
out
dime.
real quick.
Gonna owe $100,000 and they got 5 cents.
yeah, they
And bought all these chains and stuff and cars and
That might be the reason that they hired all those extra IRS agents, right?
yeah.
For the NIL players.
Yeah.
Instead of going
Bought a
after
Mercedes, got
beauty
the
shops
ethnic
and
package on
grass
it.
cutters.
It's really going to be a rude awakening from if they're getting paid all this money and they don't make it to the NFL or they get hurt and have a career season or a career ending injury or something. They can't make that money in the NFL. They're going to be really, oh boy, what?
Who's the highest NIL guy? The quarterback from Tennessee getting
No,
$4 million. Who is it?
Highest NL guy's Dion's son.
Shedeur
Shadur,
Sanders, the
yeah.
highest.
The guy from Tennessee's third.
Third, and then Milrose got like $4 million at Alabama, $3 million.
Yeah.
That's a lot of money for kids
Yeah.
that ain't got to call home for nothing. Mom, I need a credit card. Don't need nothing.
Gee, their folks be calling them.
Arch Manning is the number one, wasn't it?
No.
2.
2. He's 2 to sit on the bench.
And his family's loaded.
Yeah.
They own half of
Manning.
4 states, and that's crazy. And then he'll be an All-American next year when he starts. Preseason All-American ain't never played a full game.
Yeah.
You watch, and he's going to be
Play a
that
few
good.
snaps, yeah.
He'll get every receiver he wants.
Mm-hmm.
Running backs wearing that burnt orange. They may be one of the teams that winds up in the top 4 with yours, And then look at his
Yeah.
backup if he gets hurt. God, just insert. I remember when Peyton went in at UCLA for Tennessee, when Martin went down. Instant. Doing the playbook was easy to call. Coach, let's get him some confidence. Let's throw it easy. Just turn it loose. The good ones do that.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what old Archie Manning will do, and when his time comes and he can play, he starts all season.
Wouldn't you like to play for Sarkisian the way he calls plays?
Yeah,
Man, that sucker's good. That's a good story, too.
yeah. Texas is going to be a good team. They don't really have a great or a tough schedule this year, but I think they're going to be. They're going to give it a run for their money. In my prediction, I think they'll be top 4 this year for sure.
Yeah. After about week 4, when we say Alabama-Georgia game, we'll see in a bunch of the other matchups. Wisconsin's too white. They'll never play with Alabama. But, it'll be exciting because
We'll
we
see.
like watching it.
Come week 5, I think.
Yeah.
September 28th.
Too slow at every position.
What's crazy is they both have a bye right before that.
That's to get them bones ready.
Mm-hmm.
Alabama's
Oh,
got
it's
a
gonna
bye,
be a
Georgia's got
freaking
a bye.
knockout
So,
drag-out.
let's
That's
go.
Where's it played at?
It's
Georgia?
at Alabama. No.
Oh,
Yeah.
we don't
It's
play
at
well in
Alabama.
big games at home. God, I wish it was on the road. They get ready better.
Yeah.
I think we're
That's
actually
on.
tailgating that.
Yeah, we're
Are
thinking
y'all?
about we're going to
Taking
take
a podcast down there.
No, y'all gonna have
Are
it
you
going
really?
on, boys. Huh?
Yeah,
We got a
we got
We got a
and
tailgate spot and
everything.
everything. Down
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
We're gonna have we're gonna have the 4 mics. One of them's gonna be open. Just sit down. You
Right.
want to talk? Sit down.
Y'all get Wesley Britt to come down. Him and Katie talk politics and Alabama football. Ian
We
Coleman.
can hit them up.
I bet you they would.
Oh yeah.
Guarantee they would.
Yeah, that's gonna be fun. We're gonna have some. There ain't no telling what's gonna be said on that
There's
show.
no telling.
That'll be a heck of
Get
a
a bunch
day.
of drunk Alabama fans. Yeah.
Draw up obnoxious Bama fan. Yeah.
Maybe we can run into what's his name.
Pat
they-
McAfee.
No, not the
Roll
guy.
Tide Timmy.
No,
Roll Tide Willie.
Well,
Yeah, Roll Tide Willie. Yeah, I don't give a piss about nothing but the tide.
You reckon the world laughs at us when Willie gets eyes? He's got those blue eyes, one blue this way and one blue that way. He means well, I know,
Yeah, he
and
does.
boy, he's been took care of it. He's been blessed. I don't know who the guy is that does his
Does his
TikTok
stuff, yeah.
page, but he's took care of
Dude,
that.
he is freaking.
He's everywhere.
TikTok has made it like it changed his whole lifestyle.
If you ever followed Drewski, you know what I'm talking
Yeah,
about?
Drewski, yeah.
You see when Willie was at Drewski's place with Kevin Hart. Did you
Yeah,
ever see that
yeah,
one? Oh,
yeah.
my God.
He about
said-
got in a fight with Kevin Hart.
Kevin Hart told him he hated Alabama, and Roll Tide Willie was ready to fight. He said, "Man, don't say that. You'll set him off." That was a trigger word. Oh, it was crazy.
Yeah, he's not. He means well. I'd love to talk to him, but yeah, he's not putting on a show. I don't think.
No, he's what he is.
Yeah,
He's
he's
straight
what it is.
Alabama. Yeah, that's it.
he's a good.
That's
he's a good representative.
That's that. Dare.
Yeah,
Duck.
Yeah,
that's it.
he
He was definitely on this side.
You can see why we didn't build pyramids, right?
Yeah.
They didn't pick us to do it.
Yeah.
You got to be exceptional, boys.
I wonder exactly where he's from, though.
I don't know. I need to message that old boy on his page.
Yeah.
I'd like to carry on the conversation and see where they're. He farmed somewhere there in South Alabama.
Is it South Alabama? Is he down in South Alabama?
Yeah, somewhere there. They built him a house and fixed him up a place and they done really, the right thing with him.
Yeah.
Took care of him. Gets me tickets, and I wonder what saving when he goes home. He's got to be like, God darn it.
Mm-hmm.
He said he come in the office stinking. Roll Tide Willie.
He also
mentioned-
he also ran around Dave Portnoy for a
He
for a little
did.
bit. Yeah.
He sure did. He's been all over. I mean, he's more popular than a Hawk Tua girl. I mean, he is.
She's got her own podcast now. I see now.
She's making money. She
Yeah,
better
she
live
is.
it because it'll die down.
She better capitalize all she can on it.
Yeah.
It's already about died.
It is, but dang, is she
Yeah,
made enough
she's
to
made,
make
yeah.
buy a home or 40 acres of land in
We've
Tennessee?
had more fun with that.
Yeah. We got a guy on our committee. If he's listening, JJ Zeter. He's our own version of Hawk Tua guy, right? Yeah, JJ is. We love him to death, but he means well. But he spits a lot.
He won a gun down was it Birmingham?
Yeah, tell his story, Matt. State convention in Birmingham last year. Springfield, Garrison, 45, handgun of the year.
Yeah, handgun of the year. He calls Neely up on the phone, talking to him a minute. Pow! Pow! He said, that gun shoots good.
Neely's, to his surprise, Neely, if you're listening, he says, JJ, are you shooting that gun? Well, yeah. The gold duck head on the sides, like
Melted.
cheap iron tears, it's melting on the side. The handgun of the year now. And he tried to sell it on eBay, $250 the other day? He done knocked the cost off of it.
The funniest thing with him was, they come into a little money, whatever. So they're going to have an Alaska cruise. So they fly from here.
Forgive us, JJ. Forgive us.
He flies the whole family, everybody. The Clampetts go to, Washington and try to get on a boat. Ain't none of them got no
Passport.
2,500 miles. Nomadic family goes back home. Can't get their birth certificates or their passport. JJ,
they was
forgive
not
us.
in the-
That happened. True
He's
story.
that guy, man. He is that guy.
He sounds like we got a guy like that kind of.
Yeah, everybody's got one.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
JJ said, "Did nobody tell us we needed a passport?" I'm like, "Duh."
That's the bad. Our guy he's the luckiest guy. I mean,
Y'all know him. I mean, I've seen him.
Yeah,
he wins he'll win everything he puts in for.
we
him.
got a guy, Barry Jordan. He won guns at y'all's event.
Mm-hmm.
He wins guns at every event we go to.
I think I
He
know
goes
what
to
you're
a
talking
Delta waterfowl in Corinth, Mississippi, and wins the dinner gun. I don't know what all he wins, but he's probably got a gun safe that looks like Fort Knox or something.
about. Yeah. The only thing I've ever won out of a rifle is that barrel sitting right there.
The barrel's pretty cool. If y'all can't see that barrel behind us, it's labeled
Mm-hmm. rest
Ducks
of it.
Unlimited.
Rest of the Ducks Unlimited stuff I had to buy.
I won the gun at, where was we at?
You won at Coleman.
Coleman. I won
Yeah.
at Benelli.
Oh, did you?
And then
Yeah.
then we go to Scotts. No, where did we go last week? A couple.
We went to Gadsden, Alabama.
Gadsden. Goes to Gadsden, and so we're standing there. I bought some ticket, and I told Dale, I said, whatever number they call, I'm gonna holler out.
Act like he won. Yeah.
And darn if they didn't call my number. He said, "You didn't win." I said, "The hell I didn't."
And he won at the district meeting in Decatur. He wins the Benelli.
Yeah, we was there. Yeah,
And then
yeah.
he turns around and wins the district meeting in Gadsden. We just went because we were bored. We're both retired. And we just like going and felt. We got a man crush on Neely. And that's we follow him around. He ain't figured it out yet or don't want to tell his
Yeah,
wife.
that's all it
But
is.
we think a world of Neely. And we just enjoy doing
We
them.
tried to get him to come on here.
He will.
We're gonna get him. We're
Don't
gonna
give
get
up
him.
on him. He
gonna get
will. Set it up on the night you have a committee meeting or something. And he's an awesome dude. I'm not trying to get brownie points with you, Neely, but he is a really good.
If you give him, we'll take him.
Yeah, that's right. We're looking for free hats, Neely. Next time we see you.
Or with this bone. He does good about shoot. He'll hook you up with some stuff now.
He does. He knows men like free stuff. He's the director of the year, period, in the United States of America, not North Alabama and Central Alabama.
Well, before you came over here, Zach, we was talking about we need to get him like a miniature Heisman Trophy.
Yeah, the downtown waterfowl athletic hunting club.
can do it.
And if we can find one Neely, if you can hear us out there, you've got all our votes.
Yep.
This is a landslide.
You win.
When we
got
nominate
it,
you
Wolf.
for the
Nobody
Heisman
running
Trophy.
against you.
Now,
Yep.
I've been through since Mr. Doug Lasher, who is awesome as a person. He was a biologist for Ducks Unlimited, but he was the guy that got me started with the Colbert Lawrence chapter, and he ran it by the book. Awesome guy. I still speak to him today, talk to him. Much respect, much love for Doug. But Neely, I'd say Neely's like a mix between Saban and Bryant, because he's an Alabama fan. If he was Auburn, I'd say like Suge Jordan and, but he's really good. He really is.
Yeah.
He'll take care of you now.
And no, Neely, we're not swinging on your nuts.
Nope.
Nope. We're being honest.
We still haven't even had our dinner with him.
No.
What?
No.
How'd y'all miss that?
He didn't take you out on a date.
Well,
He's been trying. He's been tried.
Y'all got to get.
And when my phone's there, he's texted me about it for the past 2 weeks. He's probably mentioned it about 4 or 5
Y'all
times.
set it up. Me and Manna come down with y'all.
Just show up.
Or
Just
we
come
can-
walking in.
Yeah, I tell him Man Club. We're gonna get Neely t-shirts. We do. We like Neely.
we got
Like,
to find him a
pull it
trophy.
off.
We've got to find him. We need something. We'll give it to him at Coleman.
That would be if we could pull that off and then get. That'd be something to put in the local newspapers and stuff. See, they like, who is this guy?
Oh, I got it. Hey, we know a guy that does Coleman Daily. He can come
Yeah,
up.
the Coleman Daily. They are really popular. And who's the guy behind it? He runs a
Sam
tire-
Roberts.
Sam Roberts,
Yes.
Uncle
He's got
Sam's mattress.
Yeah, he got
Sam's
a
mattress,
store.
mattress place. I thought that's what.
Yep.
We need to get him on here.
He has a big following, don't he?
Very.
Yeah.
Very.
Some of them's haters, some of them's not.
Oh, everybody's got haters.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody's.
If you got a big enough follower, you're gonna have haters.
Yeah, you can be in a neighborhood of 3 people and somebody's going to be mad about something. It don't matter where you at.
Can't
Somebody.
make everybody happy.
It's the South.
Y'all ready for season to open up?
I am ready. Dove season.
Dude.
Uh,
Dale has a duck heaven he's been building over there.
we have 104 acre swamp that was fit for nothing. This is how this woman from Alcoa Chemicals in Pittsburgh, that land ain't fit for nothing. And I said, it is fit for something, for hunting. And that's all it's good for. It really is. But, man, it's been a blessing. And it's dried up enough that we've cleared the duck holes, opened them up. We planted buckwheat, Jap millet, brown top, sorghum, dwarf corn. Just waiting on a little rain come tonight. We've had 2 rains on it, and it looks good. It's already greened up, but
This is the first year y'all have had it.
this is year 10, I think.
10.
Yeah.
So you know how it performs then. Yeah.
Oh, I do. Last year they killed over 500 birds, and we only hunted on every 7th day, or Saturday or Sunday. Let it rest for a week, and it's been a blessing when you do that a mile from your house.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah.
It's not a mile off Wilson Lake if you look into the north. Probably, I'd say it ain't even half a mile. So, and then Pickwick Dam, Wilson Dam is right there beside it. So
We got a property this year we've not ever hunted. The guy that owns it said that he's had people like lease it in the past, and they always do pretty good on it. So we'll see. It's like that swampland.
me and Matthew's same age, but as you get older in the years, like the rule for deer hunting, you don't ever hunt them on their bed, right? You don't disturb ducks on the roost. Pressure. None of them. Turkeys won't stand it. Deer won't stand it. They'll move. But ducks, we found that works after all those years. You could go every day and just shoot them. If we was kids, we probably would. But we don't have to kill that many birds like we did growing
We
up.
ain't mad at them as we used to be.
No, we'd have
You
killed
got no
every
bad
squirrel
blood
in the
with 'em no
holler
more.
when we was 20, but not now. I don't. But pressure, if you listen to that, limit your pressure on anything you do. Stay out of your deer stands or your woods. You'll kill more deer. You'll kill more ducks.
We've only been over there one time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
so
that was
that-
to see it, and then we was like, okay.
But see, then
Gotta
you got
plan.
to keep other people away from it. Jumping.
Well, they won't.
We had a
They get
security
in there,
guard.
they-
We had a security guard from Constellium. He would ride by. We had we got 20 game cameras running, right? So we know everything that's going on. He's riding by every 30 minutes. Well, he's doing it to look for the deer. So when the guys from Alcoa come down, he said, "We're gonna help you deer hunting out, Dale." And I said, "How's that? This is a duck club." We weren't worried. And I said, "Here's where you can help me out. You tell that security guard to stay in his shack. He's only supposed to check it at shift change, around the
Yeah.
property that joins it." And I said, but they're out here spotlighting all night long.
Oh yeah, that's going to.
With the headlights, and they're causing pressure on them deer. And he ain't, riding around out there no more. I'm like, ain't nothing out here. We ain't even got no alligators, so. Yeah. But it does work. Pressure, just stay away from them.
Yeah.
So when we've been in these duck holes working a lot because we got to, and it probably won't rain enough that we could still clear more of the edges out.
Still, yeah.
We own the edges in there, and it's been good to us.
We're supposed to get a good amount of rain this week, though. So
They changing it daily. It's
Oh,
supposed
really?
to. Yeah, it went from 3 inches to 1 inch, now it's a half inch. This side of the state may get more than we're getting. So
yeah, and I haven't checked it in several days.
I
But
ain't either.
I got $2,000 worth of seed on the ground. I've been checking it every hour.
you need that rain.
I
Yeah,
have been checking it. I mean,
we planted a dove field, and
A mile,
when we
not even a mile that way.
when we planted it, it was supposed to rain like the next day. We didn't
2
see,
days.
We didn't see rain for 3 weeks.
you ain't seen any growth, have you?
It grew. I don't know how, but it came up. But
Yeah.
we was out there a
Last
couple
week.
of days ago, just to look, just because we got to do a few more things, but not much. But
We're gonna try
They
to get
was
them done
done. It
like
was
tomorrow and be
crazy.
Y'all
done.
do deer field? Y'all hunt deer? Y'all have green field stuff?
We
we
don't have
used
no-
to, yeah, we used to be in a hunting club,
Hey,
a
how
private
many-
hunting club.
How
but-
many acres you manage?
1,100.
1,100 acre place over in West Alabama, and we don't
Put
even
out
plant
seed
green
last
fields
year.
until the last weekend of September, 1st October, and it does well, and you avoid the army worms.
We've
So,
never we've only had one place that which I've only ever killed one deer. We had 480
Yeah,
like 480 acres down
490.
in Fayette, but we let it go back like a bunch of goobs.
Yeah, you need to keep
Yeah,
it there.
but there was only three. There was 3 or 4 of us in that.
No, there was 7 of us, but only 3 of us ever
Yeah.
hunted.
Yeah, and that's another advice for people. Just get it. My uncle used to tell us, just get it in your name, and you know how hard it is to find places to hunt. Everybody knows it's hard. So you ever get a place, even if you just sub it out yourself, keep it in your name.
Yeah, I've looked at that property ever since we let it go back,
A regret. Yeah.
and you can't.
If I could take on another whatever, I would grab it in a minute and make do, even if it sat there 2 years or whatever, until I could do something.
Well, the thing that the thing that killed us is it was who was it? Whatever company they cut it for paper. It was like a paper place,
Yeah.
and
Champion.
they
Came out and clear cut it.
Champion.
No, it was what company was that? Can't remember.
The state of Alabama.
No, it was a private company. But
I can't remember.
anyway, they came out and clear
Do
cut
y'all
all of it.
have, have forever wild land on this side of the state?
Not that I
Have y'all heard of that?
like where it's
So the state of Alabama got in this Forever Wild program. We know this because Cherokee, Alabama is huge in it. So they clear cut all the mass crops, the hardwood, and they went in the timber business. They replanted with pines, which is not beneficial to any type of wildlife, right? Unless you're a woodpecker, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so the animals is starving, right? They don't have nowhere to eat now. They're having to go push them to people's backyards or whatever. But the state of Alabama went in the timber business. So if you're ever in Colbert County, Alabama, Franklin County, and you see a bunch of pines, that's the border of the Forever Wild, and you can buy a permit to go hunt it, and good luck. But the deer's walking around with the rib cage showing, and now you can't. They let you bait, and then CWD come along. Now they won't let you bait, so they're doesn't got accustomed to it for 1 year. It's a mess.
there was Mulpus.
Yeah.
Mulpus Timber.
yeah.
That's who I leased that land through in Vina. Mulpus Timber.
Yeah, that's who we had it through, and we have tried to get it back. It was in Fayette. Well, it was actually Oakman down in.
Yeah.
Dude, it was loaded. Like
The bad thing was since nobody that was in that club was even remotely close. I mean, we all lived in Coleman. It was almost impossible to keep poachers out of that place because we'd only go down there on the weekends. But
So you could have
during-
subbed that to some local
Yeah.
boys and just kept it in your name and let them done whatever they're doing till you're ready to manage.
get back to it. Yeah,
We had a hard time keeping people out of our land because they'd always rode down there. It's Mobley Lake. Stars Fell Over Alabama started right there at our hunting club. They were going to do a big park and have animals and stuff. There's a huge pond down there, going to have paddle boats and everything. And some lady that was involved in it took all the money and run. So we got places with just concrete pads sitting down there. our main stand right when you come in is called Stars.
Mm-hmm.
So it was set pretty good. But last year we put seed on the ground. It was supposed to rain the next day. It set for a month and a half before we got rain, and it finally made and come on up.
Yeah.
But we drug it after we planted
Yeah.
it, so it
It was in the
birds
ground.
didn't eat it all. But
Yeah, and on a small scale, we know how American farmers feel, when they go to sleep at night worrying about weather and
praying for the rain.
praying for, the
Our-
perfect condition.
One reason we let that go back, well, they clear cut it that year, and then, they was actually cutting it mid-season. They come in and just started just going at it. I was like, oh, all right, this is gonna suck. Well, we talked to a guy, and he's like, look, he said the next 2 years is gonna be your best hunting because all that underbrush is coming up. They think they got, they can hide. They left all the hardwoods. It had a creek bottom. I mean, it was set up just perfect, basically.
And it had utility easement right down.
Yeah, right down the middle of it.
they come and select cut in places of ours, and they just make an awful mess you ever seen.
But our biggest problem is we couldn't find like the right group to do it with us. Like I said, we had 6 or 7 in the group, and only 3 of us would go down there basically every chance we could to go down there and hunt,
That's
check
gonna
on
be-
stuff.
Manage it, yeah.
Yeah, anything that you do. It's hard to perfect. That's why when y'all guys are young on y'all's committee, so we come. So we've had our committee, I don't know how long, 10 years?
No, it's longer than that.
Well, a lot longer, but when we finally hit our stride, we got like Barry Jordan, Darren Richardson, Matthew, of course, Robert Newton just got a title sponsor for the last 2 years, which is something we never had, did we?
No,
ever
never,
before.
never.
JJ, the one we pick at all the time, he just got the probate judge, the $2,500 table. He does the lifetime license stuff, but our committee works so well together now, and y'all will see that if y'all stick together and just keep doing what y'all doing, and it'll bloom. Like Decatur, obviously, Jody and them over there, they do a heck of a job.
Yeah,
but,
they do a really good job.
You got leadership at the university chapters, and Neely knows they thriving because of him. But
Yeah, he missed our banquet because he had to go somewhere to check up on
Yeah,
them.
yeah.
He's like, well, I don't know what they're doing.
yeah,
I was
Yeah.
like, well,
but they'll get it right.
I think he's actually missed our last 2.
No, he ain't.
No, he came 2 years ago.
Yeah, he was.
You
here.
sure?
Yeah.
Wasn't he, Matt?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was there.
That was 2 years.
Last year was the only year he'd missed.
Okay. I thought he missed the last 2.
Yeah, he don't miss much.
No.
No, he blew up our phone the whole time. We were.
Texting y'all.
He's like, "How's it going?" I'm like, "Neely, take care of yours. We got it."
Yeah,
buddy."
he'll text me,
That's
"What's
what we
JJ
always
doing?"
tell him. We got it, but he
we
wants
can
to
do
go.
this blindfolded now. So we've been
Yeah.
doing it for
Four.
no, it's been longer now. This is
Yeah.
our 6th or 7th year.
I lost count.
We don't even know how many years we've been doing it. But it's
But
fun.
it's only
over
been.
18.
It's really.
18 or 19 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
long.
I think this is
that was
our
our
7th
biggest
year.
thing is recruiting like people that wants to just volunteer. You talk to people nowadays like, what do I get? Well, what do you mean? What do you
This
get?
is a volunteer.
Yeah.
I've got asked to do from Mr. Bob Sullen to do the volunteer recruitment part to remind you guys and everybody else this is what we need to do and all this stuff, and I've accepted that and look forward to doing that. But the recruiting is for volunteers.
Oh, it's tough.
Oh, everybody wants somebody to show them the money, and you forget it's all charity.
That's what I tell them. I'm like, we've been doing it for this long. We
we don't get nothing either.
I tell you
I've
what,
got
I'll
a
get
few
you a
free
shirt.
hats, but
I'll get you a shirt. How about that?
That's why free stuff is nearly. If
you don't
hear
even get
this,
you don't even
it's
get free
important.
shirts. You don't even get free shirts. We got to
No,
order
you
up.
got to pay for them. But I'm
Yeah,
just saying.
we're paying for the committee shirts, and which the guys look forward to that stuff. And,
Which we ordered some new shirts this year. We ain't ordered them in 2 years, so we're finally getting some new shirt. Everybody's like, oh, all of our new guys are like, when can I get a shirt? When can I was like, well, let me order you. Let me order you one.
yeah, I
We
tell you
ordered
one of the
last
most-
year, and they
Didn't
cashed
get 'em.
our check. We didn't even get no
Yeah,
shirts.
they bounced our
Really?
check, charged it a month or two after we closed our book out and had to sell. But that stuff happens. But I'll tell you one of the biggest things we did that I think is the beer. So Matthew gets the beer donated because he's got a connection with our beer guy. And instead of charging an endless cup, we just hell, it's donated to us. Let's donate it. We want them
We
drinking
do
and
that
having a
at
good
ours.
time. And
Now we'd have to pay for it. It comes out of our end of the knot, but we tell them like when we go in there.
oh
we're
yeah,
like,
you have a tab with the place
yeah.
you're doing.
I
it.
tell them I'm like, look, we're gonna cap it at 8 cases. If you get close to that,
Yeah.
you come find me before you do anything else.
Well, see, Matthew gets it donated. How many? 5 kegs last year?
Yeah.
Donated, and then we have the cups, and we just sit have at it. And of course, the cash bar you have to go through the
Yeah.
the license place there, but it has worked wonders with us because our point was it's donated. Ain't no sense in
Yeah.
gouging
Milking
guys.
people, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's worked really well.
The free beer there is you don't want to charge for beer at those events.
No.
That gets the money flowing. Is the beer you pay? I think our tab usually is around $1,200, and it's a well worth $1,200 to spend. So.
Yeah.
We've had people bidding on pictures and stuff. You get 2 bidding that's got a few in them, and I always keep some small Fireball. Give them some Fireball.
Give them a shooter.
The Fireball
Entice
shots.
them with Fireball.
Matthew comes in with all these little case of Fireball shots, and you strategically place them at the guy's table because you know they're going to get on them. Mm-hmm. And when they smell like peppermint snap or something.
That's what we should do this year.
Hey, it'll work. I'm telling you.
It does.
Get the shot bottles and put them under their table or something. Here,
Give them to them.
We caught these teenagers in the back trying to drink them, so we want y'all to have them.
Confiscated.
Yeah.
That's what we should do.
Y'all having trouble? I mean, obviously, you just said y'all got some sponsors, but if y'all had trouble this year with your sponsors, everybody's trying to hold on to their money.
Neely had made a point at our district meetings, right, that its election years are typically down because people don't know or don't want to. But we have not seen that yet. We come out with a title sponsor 2 years in a row. Robert Newton, Coach Newton, 3A girls state championship coach from Sheffield, Alabama. He pulls a title sponsor out of his rump 2 years in a row in a election year. We're pretty shocked. And then JJ, who walks in the probate judge's office to pay for a ticket. I'm just kidding, JJ. And gets, Daniel Rosser, who's a dear friend of ours, to come on board with a $2,500 one. And we've already sold several tables, but we had our guys started hitting their table guys, a few weeks
Yeah, I've
out.
got 4 or 5 every year that I just go to, and they.
Yeah, and we're all that way. I'll give you an example. One year we did a banquet, Ducks Unlimited, at Mama Jean's restaurant, and Doug Lasher walked up to me. He said, "You got 132 people in the room." He said, "How many tickets did you sell?" I said, "All of them." That's when I had the young guys. I sold every ticket. Now it's so spread out. Our committee is so good, and I'm bragging on the guys, and that it works, man. We put 300 people in the room easy. We had the biggest shrimp bowl.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
I heard about
Oh,
West of the
good.
Mississippi River, east of the Mississippi River, that we've ever had over in them part of the show.
Wade Baker did an excellent job.
And that was
man.
at a fried chicken place.
Yeah.
To tell you how
Had a
good it went.
bowl
Yeah.
at the fried chicken.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
We went from shutting the room down at 65 to having to rent a $2,000 tent,
Yeah. Had it outside, beautiful weather.
and still did good. And that was donated beer, right, Matt?
Yeah.
Wasn't it? Yeah. That's what we just enjoy
Yeah.
doing them.
We've had a tougher time this year getting money out of people just because of the.
I say we have,
economy,
but really we've got more sponsored.
Yeah, we got
tables.
more sponsor tables, but some of our ones that buy a $2,500 table every year, they're like, "Well, we're only going to do the 1,000 this year."
Sure.
It's just the way it is. But I mean, I understand, but it just which going into this year, like we kind of knew, it's an election year, so.
Yeah.
And we've
it'll do
only
good.
pulled one new guy on our committee in the since we've started.
No, we've gotten a few new ones.
We
Who?
pulled 2, and Carl Wilson. I don't know what Carl does. I know he's a high school official. He's already sold a $1,000 table, and then Wyatt McCannon, a young guy, he sold one, and he's young, but we've got 2 new members on there, and we look forward to working with them. They're going to be really good for us, and you can count our committee at y'all's event. We'll be there. I know y'all don't want to see Matthew and Barry Druden walk the door because they win every gun.
You put our guy to the test because he'll win something.
Barry, I think I won a handgun at y'all's, but I ain't won a gun, period.
I've never won a gun at any event I've been to.
Won in 5 years. Matthew's won so many you have to tote him out in the back. He does. He wins everywhere he goes.
We'll bring you a shopping cart.
He's already got 2 Yellowstone whiskey bottles, if that tells you anything.
Wow.
Yeah.
2, and we ain't even been to an event. We just distributed. The Yellowstone whiskey bottles will be really popular this year with the
It's
end of
gonna
the
be
show
good, yeah.
coming out November 10th. So our banquet will be right behind it, so we can pitch Kevin Costner if he can get shot. They're going to kill him off or something
Yeah, he's
at the
he's
train
getting off.
station. And these bottles came out of his cooler in the back of his truck. It's our store. We can tell him any way we
Any
want
way
to.
you want to.
He personally hand delivered these to the banquet. He just couldn't come
He
tonight. He had
did.
something to do.
He caught Rip drinking, trying to get in them. We'll come up with something articulate and spread that out. So Justin Isbell, another guy, he got a local bank robber legend in our area, the Dawson Gang. If you ever read the State Line Mob book, the guys that's Portly family that killed Buford Pusser, he runs a distillery now, and we got some barrels. I'll send you a picture. Gallon barrels with the state logo on it.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to have moonshine in it. Going to be an awesome product. You probably won't want it at your place because it'll go fast. And I want Billy Ray Dawson to autograph them. So
Yeah,
his roommate in Denver Supermax was Frank Lucas from American Gangster.
It's about
That's what you call street cred.
Yeah.
on Johnny Carson one night. He was talking
Yeah.
to a mobster, and they said, "Where do you get you guys, to do your dirty work?" Russellville, Alabama.
Russellville, Alabama. That's right next door.
I've been to Russellville a few times.
Yeah, it's softened up a lot now since the immigrants come in. They do
Man,
a
I'm
lot
telling you.
of Pilgrim's Pride, and their soccer team will probably outdo their football team now in the next few years. It's changing the
It is,
demographics.
man.
It don't take long to ship in 5 or 6 loads of somebody, and before you know it,
Multiply.
It
Yep.
has. It's changed dearly.
It has. It's Coleman. Coleman's changing at an alarming rate. We just get so many people that move in here because of Huntsville's booming so much, and they don't want to live in Huntsville. But Coleman's a good 40-minute drive from Huntsville, so we're just.
You're in a perfect spot. Look, I do USSSA director for D Black. If y'all know D.
I know D.
D, I do that with D on the side. D used to referee for me, and I run Tennessee Valley Basketball Association.
I worked for the town of South Vinemont, so every tournament he was there.
I've ran tournaments at Vinemont, Hansville for D. The interstate is the reason we don't get industry on the west side
Yeah.
versus y'all. And all the travel teams in baseball, we don't have any travel tournament. Most shows fixed to invest $65 million in a baseball facility, and we'll put tournaments on the book, they will, and we can't get one team to sign up to play at home. But they're going to build, $65 million facility because the other towns are doing. Albertville did it, Athens did it, but they got the interstate here, and man, he's got every field from here to Gardendale full, from Athens to Gardendale every Saturday.
Yep.
Every park, y'all know that. He got officials working for him, and D does a great job of handling all that because that's a lot of stress.
We're a midway point between Huntsville and Birmingham, and I do deliveries. I deliver appliances for a living, and I've been, we've been real busy lately, and I'll go in the house. I'm like, oh, y'all just move in? Oh, yeah, we just got here. Oh, okay. Well, we moved from California, or we moved from Florida. I'm like, well, what brought you here? Oh, well,
Politics.
Every time.
We're tired of how I had a couple tell me, we're tired of Florida. It's y'all are so nice here. Y'all talk, and yes, y'all are polite. And I'm like, what?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
My nephew just bought a house here in Coleman.
Coleman's jumping. And y'all's varsity basketball is really good. Stu has done a great job over there. Football team, the younger ones, hey, you got a tight end in the 9th grade. It's going to be awesome. He's 6'6", been dunking since 4th grade. But he's a tight end fool. You'll see him come on the thing with a cowboy hat on. And then, if y'all ain't met John Luke Witcher yet in the 8th grade at Coleman, he's probably the best athlete. And I say this because I see them all in the entire North. And Chad Witcher, if y'all know Chad, he adopted this kid from a Dominican, and he is exceptional. And just a great kid, too. They've done a great job with him. But you'll be hearing about him. He's definitely be a D1, just watch. And he's sitting there in Coleman's stable.
He's 8th grade right now?
8th grader. Go watch him play. They won the 7th grade middle school championships last year with him, and everybody's got to go through Coleman, and as long as they got John Luke sitting over there, it's a tough cookie, tough draw.
He's gonna hold down the fort.
Yeah, he'll do whatever on a basketball court, or I'd hate to see him playing baseball because he'd probably like Bo Jackson knocking him 400 foot already. But Coleman's got a lot of bright, Jessica McBriar, a girls coach now from Wallace State. They got it going on. They do. And I'm not knocking all the other coaches because I know them all, but Coleman's got a lot. Building a water park was a big plus.
That wild
That was
water,
crazy.
yeah.
Like Rock the South helps a lot.
Rock the South was
I'm telling you,
another.
That's really what really set our town apart. Like when it started booming, or we started getting a bunch of nicer facilities in here, it's because of Shane Quick and Rock South.
Residential buildings out the roof. Everywhere
yeah.
you go, it's subdivisions, and you know, it's
And people
nice.
like, you know, that's great, wonderful. But people like us, we've been here since, I mean, I've lived on this road right here. This is actually, this house right here is my great grandmother's house. So, like, this is where my grandfather was
Right.
raised with 11 brothers and sisters. Like, this is all where it started. I'm not used to that. So now, if I want to go to the other end of town, it takes me 45 minutes. I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
I didn't
Imagine what it looked like in 20 more years.
I didn't
Oh,
sign up to
exactly.
live
It'll be
in
a
Birmingham.
metropolitan. Yeah, it's going to be huge.
We'll be the size of Huntsville in our lifetime.
No doubt. Athens, with all the industrial growth that they had, you know, their count in 6A, they should have been a 7A school this time. They're over 1,000 students in 9 through 12. Mushoes, Hartselle, Coleman, all those are still middle of the pack. You know, I think Coleman's in the 800 numbers.
Yeah, I think.
Mushoes 600s in their count. So, but Athens was 1,028, Florence 1,095, and they're in the 7A pool. And 7A is ridiculous talent wise. You know,
I think our last census, we went up. I forgot the exact number, but I think our population now in Coleman is right at 80,000, 85,000, something like that.
yeah, I'm not sure what Mushoes is, but it ain't that.
Yeah.
Probably the whole show's area is not 100,000. Probably is Matt.
But if you would have looked at it the last time they did the census, I want to say the last census it was around 50,000 maybe. But yeah, it's boomed like it is. And you know, my line of work, I'm a realtor, so I sell houses, and a bunch of my clients are moving from out of state. They're just, oh yeah, we want to retire. I had a couple from California that moved that's retired, and he was like, yeah, we're tired of paying, you know, we can't afford to live out there because the taxes are so high. So they're
Exactly.
And what's really funny is when they come here and they're like, okay, you know, we're going to buy a house, and as soon as whenever I tell them what the property taxes on that property is, they're like, their eyes get this big. They're like, are you sure? Like, yes. It's only $400 a year for a $500,000 house.
That'll change.
Yeah.
That'll change. It definitely will.
But yeah, they're like, oh, out there it'd be $6,000 or $7,000 a year. Well,
You're not out
right
there.
now, you're in good hands.
Yeah.
So, but just don't bring the ideology that y'all have out there over here. So
That's right.
that's
I've
my
been
biggest
told
thing.
multiple, like that's their number one thing is, y'all are just so nice. Y'all are so nice.
Well, we're different.
We are. Like if you,
We know how to carry on a conversation.
yeah,
And
that's what,
laugh
that's
and
what
have a good time.
We
Yeah.
different.
That elderly couple that I delivered to, that's what they said. They said you go out there and they won't hold the door open for you when you go to the store. They don't say nothing to nobody. You just walk
Yeah.
around like robots.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, it ain't like that around here. Not right now. You know.
Me and my wife was going in Golden Corral a couple of weeks ago, right? And there was an elderly black lady walking behind us. So I seen her, so I waited on her and held the door for her. And she said, "Thank you, young man." And I was going to buy her dinner. And she said, "You know, I don't think a black man would have held the door for me." You know what my response to her was? I said, "The guys that I grew up with in Town Creek, Alabama would have."
Oh, no,
There's no
definitely, yeah.
doubt that all those guys that I grew up with and played ball with, they would have held the door for you.
Mm-hmm.
But this young generation,
Nah, they'll cut in front of you to get in.
Oh,
Yeah.
100%.
yeah, but the guys I
They'll
grew up
pull
with,
the door shut.
She was shocked when I said that, but I was honestly saying that
Mm-hmm.
because I really grew up with a lot of good guys that's made good daddies and leaders in their community and
That's
stuff.
the way we was raised. You go out on a date, you open the car door for
Yeah.
a girl. You know, I mean, it's just
Yeah, let her out.
Respect.
yeah.
And you better not even let her see the check.
Not just under 70 miles an hour.
Matthew's exactly right. We'll open the door for her and let her out. We done. I'm just kidding with that one. I had to say that.
Yeah, that's good.
Set her down. Get her done, boys.
Don't let it hit you on the way out.
No, don't.
If it does, don't stop. Just keep going.
Yeah, y'all was talking about Rock South. You know, Muscle Shoals is a real big place for music
Yeah,
and
y'all.
stuff.
Yeah.
But back 70s and 80s, we used to have concerts. Man, we had Lionel Richie, Leonard Skinner, people like that.
We were running to George Jones at Captain D's.
They would come, but now the people that's running it now, we've got by the Hall of Fame, we've got a huge area right out there. There's nobody come. Nobody. UNA used to do concerts
It's leadership.
every other
It's
month.
the same
you know?
thing going on in the country. At any level, leadership matters. That's why we brag on Neely again. leadership matters, and it comes in all forms. In the music industry that we thrive, most shows, the Music Hall of Fame, the Ranch, there's no music. You have to go to bar. A lot of people don't go to
Handy
bar.
Week's about, really good for music, but I mean, it's all in local singers. They don't
Didn't-
bring nobody in. It's
Didn't the
big
band
name.
Alabama, ain't they from Muscle Shoal or originally?
They're from Fort Payne, Alabama.
Payne.
Fort
You remember
Payne.
when they would do, theirs called Summer Jam, wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
You remember why they shut that down? Randy Owens, the city council wanted to decide it was a free event. So one year the city council said, no, we're losing money on this. We need to charge admission to this, whatever. And he said, you do, and it's over. And he shut it down on account of that. That was something he did as
Greed.
giving back.
Greeting, yeah.
Could have still been doing it because, them guys are, that's what we grew up on.
Oh, yeah.
But we don't do anything. Mr. Johnson over there, he's part of the Music Hall of Fame. He said it cost him $100,000 to have Leonard Skinner come play it, and you have to get a front, a loan for that. I'm like, dang, get a loan and get some of these Justin Timberlake, some of these Taylor Swift, give them $1 million 2 years out or something and book them and let these people, they'll pay whatever. You see that at Rock the South. They get everybody, and you got the interstate. It's so easy to get here and get out.
The new facilities right there.
Yeah, whenever they put the new facility in. Yeah.
Oh.
Whenever they had it downtown Heritage Park.
It was a
you
disaster.
You couldn't go to town during Rock the South, but since they put it on
They fixed it, didn't they? They fixed the problem.
Yeah. Whenever they do it at York Farms now in Good Hope, and you don't have hardly any traffic from Rock. You have a little bit just for people, running the beer store or whatever, but it's not nowhere near as bad as it was.
And
when
if
it was
you
in
own
downtown.
Airbnb or you own a little apartment or anything that you can rent out, you can make some money.
I know people
Yeah.
that'll go out of town and rent their house out that weekend because you can't find
But
nowhere to sleep.
like what Matthew's saying, we have the music heritage, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We live in the Quad Cities.
Sam
Yeah.
Phillips, developed everybody.
Yeah, we live in the Quad Cities, and we got Florence and Muscle Shoals, Sheffield, Tuscany, for goodness sake. We got Percy Sledge living in a town that don't even hardly exist, Colbert County, in Leeton, Alabama anymore. But we can't even work together to bring a big name talent in there and have something like what the Rock the South should be going on in the shows with that music heritage.
Absolutely.
We don't do nothing.
makes sense,
Now you
yeah.
used to go in McDonald's and see Gold Records sitting there while you choke on a double cheeseburger, but you can't even see that anymore.
You don't even see a person in there taking your order no more.
We have no leadership, and I say this: if any of our mayors is listening, we can do better than that. We have poor relationships with our schools, and we're all city schools like Coleman. They should work hand in hand. We have so much animosity toward our leadership that it just goes. So what, at the end of your term, what have I said we've accomplished? Nothing.
What was it, 2 years ago? They were wanting to put where TVA property was going to donate for them to put a water park in.
Park, that was a...
And the people in town was crying they might have to leave a little early for work, or it might be late.
Not knowing they would have paved an
Yeah.
extra 2 lanes to
Yeah.
hit turn
Yeah.
lanes.
And it would have been great. And land donated.
Shane Quick is the reason for most of our stuff. He's
Yeah,
one of
Shane.
those. He's a leader of no, this is what we're gonna
Now,
do.
is he the Quick that run the tire place? You know what I'm talking about? It used to be a
Quick's
Quick.
Tire?
Yeah.
No, it's still here.
Not family.
I don't know if he's family, but that's not.
You can tell y'all got great leadership because there's something going on in Coleman all the time,
yeah.
outside of growth and whatever.
Our mayor Woody, he's done a great job. I really got to give.
He's
done
one
a
of those
great
that'll
job.
listen to
Yeah.
something.
Now, Senator Tim Melson, he's a duck hunter, or probably a former duck hunter, but he's one that's they're building an agri center over in Lauderdale County that had so many negative people, but he went ahead as leadership and they building it, so it's due completion.
I went through Aniana earlier, and they're building something over there. It's huge.
Yeah, you
It's a
should
mul-
be
it's-
building something every year.
It
somewhere.
says it's a and there's nothing out there.
Yeah.
Especially on that road I was on. I don't even remember what road it was.
Hey, when Fluff got hurt in the playoffs last year, there's been nothing in Aniana since, in football. So
It was a multi-purpose. It says multi-purpose facility, and it is absolutely huge.
yeah, it's between Florence, Shoals Creek Bridge is where they're building that agri center for events.
They're redoing ours.
Yeah.
Yeah, our ag
It's
center.
getting a whole new up.
But you know what it takes to get to build something. So why not every year we planned and we've executed it and we're building something for the future? I always said Colbert County could take Rose Trail because it's management area and build a biggest water park.
Yeah.
And you draw because you're on the state line of Mississippi. You're on Bear Creek. and Pickwick Lake, the best bass lake in the world, build a biggest water park in the world right there, and they would make a killing if they would work together on stuff. But we're pickleball courts and stuff now, so I don't know what direction we think we're going since we're a retirement community. And me and Matthew's retired, but I know a lot of young people that ain't. That's got to go somewhere else to raise their family.
Well, you got to look at it this way too, like the longevity of the community. Since you are a retirement community, what's the community going to be in, 20 years from now when all the retirees?
What happens to most retirees? They die.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's where we're headed.
What's going to happen? I mean,
It's just like, yeah.
I mean, really.
We've lived way
the
over half
community,
our
yeah.
life already.
We're probably 55. If you've looked at a life expectancy map of Alabama, have you ever heard of that? Google a life expectancy map. 55 is it. I have just made it 2 years past it with open heart surgery, and I got a pacemaker and a defibrillator. I got fired today. They told me I was putting a defibrillator on. Thank you, Colbert County Commission. Railroad Retirement Board won't answer my calls. 18 months later, I'm still, walking around the streets with a can, with my shades on like Ray Charles, begging for change to my neighbors.
All kind of stuff what he'll do for work,
Yeah. Me and my wife's been raising chiggers in our tomato garden. We're going to try to barbecue them because we're tired of eating barbecued hummingbird wings. Yeah.
And possum gizzards. And
I can't
skunk
catch them like I
ribs.
used to. I used to run them down, but I can't no more. It's this old world's a mess, guys, and it starts in November to try to rewrite this ship.
yeah.
I hate to say that, but it is.
Just
Felons
imagine another 4 years of what we're going through right now.
Yeah, think about that. When you lay your head down at night, America, if you're listening, Tampon Tim or Felon, that's an easy choice, guys. I'd take Al Capone in a minute over Tampon Tim.
I guarantee you, he would. He'd get on the right track.
Now, all us boys had nicknames growing up, right? They got attached to you for a reason.
Oh yeah.
Whatever your peers, your buddies called you, right? For a reason.
You got it. Yeah, you didn't.
They nicknamed him Tampon Tim, and he's going to be the vice president.
Yeah.
If his country puts him in office, I'm telling you, man, it's embarrassing. Embarrassing.
We're already the laughing stock of the world anyway. So
We are.
That'll just make it 10
are.
times better.
Our nuclear weapons probably won't